Students, this is the continuation of my previous lecture. In my previous lecture, we discussed the early part of the novel, book 1 and book 2. In this lecture, I'm going to discuss the plot of the later part of the novel, book 3 and book 4. Now, in the beginning of the third book, we see that you know Mr. and Mrs. Wilson's house, okay, and here Joseph, Fanny, and Adams are having shelter, okay, in the house of Mr. Wilson. Walking on after nightfall, the companions, here the companions means the three people, Joseph, Fanny, and Adams, encounter a group of spectral lights that Mr. Adams takes to be ghosts, but that turn out later to be the lanterns of sheep stealers. So, they are very much afraid because these people are also robbers. So, the companions, flee the scene, means they run away from that place and find accommodations at the home of a family named Wilson. After the then here Mr. and Mrs. Wilson welcome them. Then Mr. Wilson tells his life story to Mr. Adams and Joseph. Mr. Wilson tells them that you know that his life is mixture of happiness and sorrows. His life story is approximately the story of a wreck's progress. He has made uh, uh, you know property out of nothing, and his wife Mrs. Wilson has been supporting him. Wilson also mentions that since moving from London to the country, he and his wife have lost their eldest son to a gypsy abduction. In other words, Mr. Wilson tells them that you know uh, they lost they have lost their eldest son. Actually, their eldest son, when he was uh, infant, very small, he was uh, stolen by some gypsies. He was kidnapped by some gypsies. Now, mind well, students, here that stolen boy, that stolen son of Wilson, is none other than Joseph. Okay. Further, the travelers, now who are quite won over by the Wilson family and their simple country life, they depart in the morning. As they walk along, Mr. Adams and Joseph discuss Wilson's biography and debate the origins of human virtue and vice. Finally, they stop to take a meal, and while they are resting, a pack of dogs, hunting dogs, uh, you know, come upon them. The dogs attack the sleeping Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams um, was sleeping at that time. A pack of dogs attacked him. Joseph and his stick come to the rescue of Parson. Okay, the owner of these dogs, these hounds, a sadistic squire. Here, this squire, whom Fielding labels a hunter of men, is at first inclined to be angry about the damage to his dogs, but as soon as he sees the lovely Fanny, he changes his plans and invites the companions to his house for dinner. Uh, then, further, the hunter of men and his servants, rather his friends, they taunt Mr. Adams throughout dinner, prompting the parson to fetch Joseph and Fanny from the kitchen and leave the house. The hunter sends his servants after them with orders to kidnap Fanny, whom he has been planning all along to, you know, uh, to get them. The servants find the companions at um, one guest house, the next morning, and after another, epic battle, they succeed in tying Adams and Joseph to a bedpost and making off with Fanny. They tie Adam and Joseph, and they kidnap Fanny. Luckily for Fanny, however, a group of Lady Booby's servants come along. They recognize the milkmaid Fanny and rescue her from her captors. They then proceed to the inn where Adams and Joseph are tied up, and Joseph gets to take out his frustrations on Fanny's primary captor before they all set off again. Uh, students, Joseph and Adams are also rescued, and then they continue their journey with the servants and the manager of Lady Booby, Peter Pounds. This is the end of the third book. Now, in the fourth book, in the beginning, uh, we see that Joseph and Fanny finally, Joseph, Fanny, and Adams finally arrive home in Lady Booby's parish, and Lady Booby herself arrives shortly thereafter. Here at church on Sunday, Lady Booby hears Mr. Adams announce the wedding proposal of Joseph and Fanny, and later in the day, she, sermons the parson for, you know, for to visit her. Okay. Uh, Here, Lady Booby claims to oppose the marriage of the young lovers on the grounds that they will raise a family of beggars in the parish. Now, students, you need to remember that Lady Booby wants to possess Joseph. So, out of jealousy, she is trying to, to prevent the marriage of Joseph and Fanny. When Adams refuses to cooperate with Lady Booby's efforts to keep the lovers apart, Lady Booby, summons, she orders a lawyer named Scout. And this lawyer, is, corrupt man, a legal pretext for preventing the marriage. He has, some plan to get this couple apart from each other. 2 days later, Joseph and Fanny are brought before the justice of the peace. Here, the justice of the peace is perfectly willing to, you know, support Lady Booby's plans. Fortunately, the sister of Joseph, okay, remember, Pamela, arrives there. The arrival of Lady Booby's nephew, Mr. Booby, and his new wife, uh, you know, Joseph's sister, Pamela. Uh, this arrival of Pamela and Booby, you know, support Joseph and Fanny. They stop the legal proceedings. Mr. Booby, not wanting anything to upset his young wife, intervenes in the case and springs her brother and Fanny. He wants to impress his new wife, Pamela, and that's why he wants to support his wife's brother, okay, rather than his aunt, Lady Booby, okay. He then here Mr. Booby then takes Joseph back to Booby Hall while Fanny proceeds to the Adams house. The next day, Lady Booby convinces Mr. Booby to join in her effort to dissuade Joseph from marrying Fanny. Meanwhile, Fanny takes a walk near Booby Hall and endures an assault by a diminutive gentleman named Bod Dapper. When this man Body Dapper fails to have his way with Fanny, he delegates the office to a servant and walks off. He orders his servant to persuade Fanny. Fortunately, Joseph comes in the picture and he intervenes before the servant of Body Dapper can, get can uh, attack Fanny, okay, because he is also, uh, you know, he is also obeying the orders of his master. Moving further, Joseph and Fanny arrive at the Adams house, where Mr. Adams counsels Joseph to be moderate and rational in his attachment to his future wife. Just as Adams finishes his recommendation of, the detachment, someone arrives to tell him that his youngest son Dick has just drowned in the river. Uh, Mr. Adams, you know, um, weeps, for his son. But fortunately, he comes to know that someone has saved his son. Okay. Adams happens to meet Peddler, and here this Peddler, who now remember, students, this Peddler paid the bills of Adams. Okay, paid the bills of the guest house, right? And this Peddler again appears here, and he saves the drowning son of Mr. Adams. Meanwhile, Lady Booby is, plotting to use Bodhi Dapper, to come between Joseph and Fanny. Then she takes him along with Mr. Booby and Pamela to the Adams household in house where the Bodhi Dapper attempts to get Fanny. Okay. Now, moving ahead, there is a twist in this story. Here, Fanny happens to be the long lost daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Andrews. Here, Mr. and Mrs. Andrews, the parents of Joseph Andrews, lost their daughter when she was very small. Joseph, Fanny, the peddler, and Adams all dine together at the rest house, and the peddler reveals that he has discovered that Fanny is in fact the lost daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Andrews. Now, if this is so, then uh, Fanny is Fanny happens to be sister of Joseph. Now, if this is true, then Joseph and Fanny are brother and sister. They are siblings. So, how can Joseph marry Fanny? This is very interesting twist, in the story. Now, back at Booby Hall, Lady Booby, is very much excited after knowing this truth. She rejoices to learn that Joseph and Fanny have been discovered to be siblings, brother and sister. Everyone then gathers at the hall where Mr. Booby advises everyone to remain calm and, that uh, then Mr. and Mrs. Andrews, are going to come there in the next day. Okay, so in the course of the story, there is a comic confusion. Okay, late that night, Bodhidapur, Bodhidapur seeks Fanny's bed, but ends up in Mrs. Slipslop's. Okay, actually, he wants to corrupt Fanny, but fortunately, he happens to come to the room of Mrs. Slipslop. Slipslop screams for help, bringing Mr. Adams, who mistakenly attacks Slipslop while the Bo the Dapper gets away. Lady Booby then arrives to find Adams and Slipslop in bed together uh, in the same room. Okay, here Adams and Slipslop, Mrs. Slipslop, are sleeping in the same bed. But the confusion dissipates before long, and Adams makes his way back toward his room. This is comic confusion. Unfortunately, a wrong turn brings him to Fanny's room, where he sleeps until morning with with Fanny. Okay. When Joseph discovers the parson, means Adams, and Fanny together in the room, Joseph first of all, has a doubt, but after that uh, you know, he clears his doubt because he knows Adams very well, and also Fanny. Okay, the loyalty of Fanny. After being briefly angry, Joseph concludes that Adams simply made a wrong turn in the night. Once Adams has left, then once again Adams has left Joseph and Fanny alone. The apparent siblings, now Joseph and Fanny are brother and sister. Uh, okay, I'm then what happens? Later that morning, Mr. and Mrs. Andrews arrive, and soon it emerges that Fanny is indeed their daughter, stolen from her cradle. What also emerges, however, is that Joseph is not really their son, but the changeling baby they received in place of Fanny. Okay, changeling means badlama mukhi devu. The ruffians they kidnapped, they took the baby and they in return they put baby boy in cradle. The peddler suddenly thinks of the Wilson family, who long ago lost a child with a distinctive birthmark on his chest. And it so happens that Joseph bears just such a similar birthmark on his chest. Mr. Wilson himself is luckily, coming through the gate of Booby Hall at that very moment. So the reunion between father and son takes place on the spot, right? Means at the very moment, Mr. and Mrs. Wilson also get their lost son back. So apparently this is a happy ending of the novel, students. Now everyone, okay, everyone except Lady Booby is happy, so they proceed to Mr. Booby's country estate, and Joseph and Fanny make their wedding arrangements. After the wedding, the newlywed couple settle near the Wilson, means they settle with Mr. and Mrs. Wilson. Mr. Booby, husband of Pamela, dispenses a small fortune to Fanny, a valuable clerical living to Mr. Adams, and he also gives a job as exciseman to the peddler. Lady Booby returns to a life of flirtation in London again. Okay, so this is the end of the novel. This is the plot. Very interesting. This is enough for today. Thank you very much, students. Happy learning.